But anyways, we might as well start with the favorites, and there is one favorite in this. He has never won Paris-Nice. His teammate has, and that is Jonas Vingegaard. Obviously, Jonas did very well at the Vuelta al Garve in hindsight with that very powerful time trial at the end. Didn't look all-conquering at Foyer. Got distanced by Joao Almeida. We'll talk about him later. But yeah, Matteo Jorgensen here in it as well. He was the one who won last year, and I don't know if he's gonna be able to contend for it. But yeah, what do you think of Visma Leasebike's chances of retaining this, and maybe Jonas Vingegaard being the first ever Danish winner of this race? He's the
I
first
think they've,
ever Dane to podium this.
I think they've got a really good shot. Jonas plus Jorgensen is a very strong duo. Jorgensen obviously has come off of his altitude camp up in or down in Teed, depending on your orientation of the world. I guess it is up because it is a massive, massive volcano. So Jorgensen's come off of there. He's clearly looking to be in good form for this race. Otherwise, why would he bother doing an altitude camp? Jonas obviously hasn't. I don't think he has done an altitude camp. People can fact check me in the comment section. But Jonas is the overwhelming favorite for this race.
I saw Instagram because someone I know that knows him, he was in Denmark quite recently. That's
Oh,
not
really?
altitude.
That's definitely
That's
not
like the
altitude.
opposite.
It's negative, negative, negative. Kind of bonus hematocrit. Anyway, the point is, Jonas and Jorgensen is a really strong duo. They should be aiming to win this race with one of them. Like you say, they are the defending champions. And I think they've got a pretty strong team around them at the moment. It's not fully released, but they're also backed up by Campenaerts, Axel Zingler, and Persson Hageners. Obviously, I think maybe a one or two more rulers in there would be really good, or another climber in there as well, just to really give them some solid foundation for that team time trial. I think a lot on a lot of teams' minds is to try and be as close to the top of that as possible, because obviously you don't want to be losing heap loads of time. For example, last year there was also a team time trial, and I think it was Lidl Trek last year, which is kind of surprising because they won VTTT in the Volta Comunitat Valenciana, but they lost 2 minutes, I think, to the eventual winners. And as considering that they had Skelmos Jensen in there for GC, Skelmos Jensen would have actually finished on the podium if they did a better team time trial last year. So lots of teams focusing on that team time trialing aspect. And Vingegaard with Campenaerts, Jurgensen, and Persson Hagen is a really strong quartet. Zingler, I don't really know. So I think they've got a really strong shot of winning this. They are the overwhelming favourites, I would say.
I mean, if we're to deduce something, because Tirreno is overlapping with this race, and don't worry, that preview is going to be on the podcast exclusive, so that's a reason to check out the podcast. Patrick, they are bringing Simon Yates, Olaf Koy, Steven Kreuzvik, Daniel McClay, Ken Arterbrooks, Attila Valtent, Dylan van Baal there. So, well, then we can kind of be like, who is in there might be filling that gap. I mean, Sepp Kuss, Wout van Aert. I don't know if they have any plans of Paris-Nice. Wout van Aert maybe needs a bit more racing in the legs. So Paris-Nice, he's done well here before. He's won the green jersey. He was instrumental in Roglic winning it in 2022. So, I mean, why not bring Wout?
WoW would make a lot of sense, but I think he is
Uh-oh.
currently up to
Have I missed something?
their volcano
Oh, right. Okay.
to
Yeah, but he can come back. They have flights every day.
yeah. I think he's trying to get his
Paris to Tenerife. I'm pretty sure there's flights
uh
every day.
yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. Just ship him in like the Stig in a Top Gear challenge and just, just put him in there just for the team time trial. That's what you need him for. I mean, if they sent somebody like Affini or Bart Lemon, for example, I think those would be pretty good additions to a team time trialing unit. So I think they've got a few options. And like you say, that other squad of Terreno seemed like riders who weren't particularly great at time trialing, other than say Dylan van Baarle. So I think they'll probably throw another couple of time trialers in the direction of Paris-Nice.
What do you make of Jonas Vingegaard in 2025? The Vuelta al Garve, yeah, the time trial was good, putting 30 seconds into Joao Almeida. But do you think, is this a stronger, can Vingegaard get stronger? That's, I guess, the question.
Yeah, I think he can. I think that, I mean, Algarve, no offense to Algarve, I love it as a race. but I don't think Jonas would have been peaking in form for Algarve. Paris-Nice would be certainly a nice one to add to his palmarès, but does it make sense for him to be in such good form for Paris-Nice? I'm not sure if it's, like an absolute do or die, like you must win this sort of race. Maybe I've got Jorgensen here who can obviously win this race because he did so last year. So I don't think there's going to be too much pressure on Jonas to really kind of pull out all the stops and do an absolute worldy performance. So I think even the performance that we'll see of Jonas in this race, although it'll be the kind of the best he can do at the moment, I don't think it's going to be the best version of Jonas that we're going to see this year. I think realistically, you're only going to see that maybe even only at the Tour, to be honest. I might even keep it cagey at the Criterium du Dauphiné. So I just think that Visma Lease bike are always really good at throwing up kind of smoke and mirrors towards us all. So it makes it really hard to predict what's going on. But Jonas, even without an altitude camp and even without being in great form, still puts him in the favourite status because he is just that good as a standard.
Can't disagree with that. But I mean, we might as well move on in terms of other teams. Yeah, I mean, I think we should go to UAE Team Emirates. They are looking very strong, even though we haven't got everyone.